This video is meant to serve as an introduction to the model rocketry hobby and a basic tutorial on how to build a model rocket. So why should you build a model rocket? Well, first off, it's fun. Anybody who has built and launched a model rocket will tell you that building something and watching it actually function is one of the coolest things they've done. There are other reasons than that, of course. As Second Lieutenant Bob Alves tells us of the Civil Air Patrol, building a model rocket can actually help develop hands-on skills and will help you learn about aeronautics and will help you bond and spend time with others. Whether you're a father and son duo or just a group of friends, building a model rocket can be a great bonding experience. There are two ways model rocket enthusiasts go about building rockets. The first way, and the most popular, is by using a kit. This entails having a pre-made model rocket pieces that are then put together by the owner. The second way, usually an advanced way, is by building one from scratch. These are built by advanced model rocket enthusiasts and are usually much larger and much more powerful than kit rockets. I opted to build a kit rocket because I am a beginner and it makes the most sense both financially and in terms of skill level. The instructions in this video are specifically for the Estes Mean Machine model rocket build. However, all kit model rockets usually use the same pieces and have very similar design choices. This makes it easy for anybody to follow along and learn something new about the hobby. The materials required to build this model rocket are pretty basic and can be found in any craft or hardware store. These include scissors, a pencil, ruler, fine sandpaper, in my case I used 220 grit sandpaper, carpenter's glue, plastic cement, I used super glue in both cases, and a hobby knife. In my case I used a razor blade, and masking tape, although any tape will work. So I've cut out a piece that we will use a little bit later on, and I'm going to go ahead and begin the actual directions. First step is to prepare the fins. The kit supplied me with a wooden board with laser cut fins in which I had to cut out using the razor blade. After I cut them out, I then rounded the leading edge with some sandpaper and made sure that all of the cuts were sanded down so that there would be a smooth joint with the actual body of the rocket. The next step was to cut out a guide from the instructions that would be used to create the placement for the fins and the motor. This guide is then attached to a tube approximately 1 inch from the base, and lines are drawn using the guide to make the marks for the fins. Now it's time to assemble the engine mount, which will hold the motor that will propel the rocket into the air. These final two pieces I am assembling are made out of laser cut cardboard and hold the assembly in the center of the tube. using the guide to make lines in the body of the tube. The next step is to actually install the fins, which will keep the rocket in straight and aligned flight. This is by far the most difficult process of the build, as you need to ensure that the rocket fins are perfectly aligned and at 90 degrees from each other. I used a professional grade glue called Super Weld to ensure that the fins would not come off in flight. The next step is to form the main body of the rocket. Due to the size of this rocket, it is broken up into two main sections that are connected by red spacers. These two sections can then form together using a black joint for launch. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, it is time to attach and assemble the recovery system. If the rocket goes up, it needs to come down, and this helps it do it safely so that you can launch it as many more times as you want. And here it is, the final product. Almost 6 feet tall, this rocket will be ready to launch at a moment's notice as soon as the weather is right.